Welcome to Cineverse. If you're a fan of intense battles, heroic stories, and unforgettable war films, you're in the right place. Today, we're counting down the top 10 best war movies that capture the courage, sacrifice, and raw realities of combat. From historic epics to modern warfare tales, these films will take you on a powerful journey through some of the most gripping moments in history. So, get ready, and let's dive right in. 10. All Quiet on the Western Front. All Quiet on the Western Front is a haunting and heartbreaking look at the horrors of World War I, told through the eyes of a young German soldier. The film follows Paul Bäumer, who, along with his classmates, enthusiastically enlists in the army, driven by dreams of heroism and national pride. But those dreams are shattered almost immediately. What awaits them at the front is not glory, but mud, fear, and death. Day by day, Paul witnesses his friends fall around him, while the war's brutal machinery keeps grinding on. He loses his innocence, his ideals, and eventually, almost everything that made him human. Director Edward Berger brings visceral realism to every frame. The trenches feel claustrophobic, the sound of shells is deafening, and the despair is inescapable. This is not a film about battles won. It's about the human cost of a war that chewed up a generation and left only silence in its wake. 9. Greyhound. Set during World War II, Greyhound tells the intense story of U.S. Navy Commander Ernest Krause, who must lead an Allied convoy across the Atlantic while being relentlessly pursued by German U-boats. Although it's Krause's first wartime command, he rises to the challenge amidst what became the longest and most complex naval battle in history, the Battle of the Atlantic. Tom Hanks delivers a grounded, sincere performance that embodies leadership under extreme stress. If you're interested in naval history or want a war movie that builds tension with every minute, Greyhound is a compelling and underrated gem in the genre. 8. Apocalypse Now. Directed by Francis Ford Coppola and inspired by Joseph Conrad's novel Heart of Darkness, the film follows Captain Willard, a weary, disillusioned soldier sent on a secret mission. His task, travel deep into the Cambodian jungle and terminate Colonel Kurtz, a once respected officer who's gone rogue and built his own cult-like army. But the journey is more than just a physical one. It becomes psychological. Each stop along the river peels away the layers of Willard's sanity, as war, horror, and philosophy blur together. The film features unforgettable performances by Martin Sheen as Willard and Marlon Brando as the enigmatic Kurtz, whose haunting presence dominates the film's final act. With stunning visuals, surreal scenes, and iconic lines like "The horror," Apocalypse Now is a cinematic fever dream that explores the darkness not just in war, but in the human soul. 7. Black Hawk Down. Black Hawk Down is a harrowing and intense depiction of modern warfare, based on the true story of a 1993 U.S. military operation in Mogadishu, Somalia. The mission, to capture a Somali warlord. The plan, quick in and quick out. But nothing goes as expected. Within minutes, 2 Black Hawk helicopters are shot down, and the soldiers find themselves trapped in a hostile city, outnumbered and surrounded. What follows is pure chaos. A desperate fight for survival against waves of gunfire, collapsing communication, and urban warfare at its most brutal. The film boasts a large ensemble cast, including Josh Hartnett, Ewan McGregor, Eric Bana, and Tom Hardy, and plunges viewers into the non-stop tension of battle. Director Ridley Scott creates a gritty, immersive experience that never lets up, 6. We Were Soldiers. We Were Soldiers is a powerful and deeply moving war film based on the first-hand account of Lieutenant General Harold G. Moore and journalist Joseph L. Galloway. It tells the true story of the first major battle between American and North Vietnamese forces during the Vietnam War, the Battle of Ia Drang in 1965. Mel Gibson plays Lieutenant Colonel Hal Moore, a courageous and principled leader who promises his men, "I will be the first boots on the ground, and I will be the last to leave." The film doesn't glorify war. Instead, it shows the chaos, the confusion, and the devastating cost of combat, while also honoring the bravery and brotherhood of the soldiers. What makes We Were Soldiers stand out is its heart. It doesn't just follow the battlefield, but also the wives and families back home, waiting in fear and uncertainty. It's a film about duty, loyalty, love, and sacrifice, both on the front lines and far away from them. 5. Lone Survivor. Lone Survivor is based on the harrowing true story of Operation Red Wings. Mark Wahlberg portrays Navy SEAL Marcus Luttrell in this visceral and emotional retelling. What starts as a simple mission turns into a desperate fight for survival in the Afghan mountains. The film doesn't hold back. It shows the brutality of combat and the unshakable bond between soldiers. It's intense, moving, and a powerful tribute to real-life heroism. 4. The Hurt Locker. The Hurt Locker throws you into the heart of chaos, where every step could be your last, and every decision could mean life or death. This isn't your typical war movie. It's a tense, psychological portrait of what it means to live on the edge day after day. The film follows a U.S. Army bomb disposal team in Iraq, led by Staff Sergeant William James. But James isn't just defusing bombs, he's also navigating the emotional landmines of war. Jeremy Renner gives a breakthrough performance, showing us a soldier addicted to the adrenaline, the danger, and the sense of purpose only war can bring. Director Catherine Bigelow doesn't glorify the battlefield. Instead, she immerses us in the silence before the explosion, the unbearable tension, and the loneliness behind the uniform. 3. Fury. Led by a hardened sergeant nicknamed War Daddy, played by Brad Pitt, a small crew of American soldiers rolls through Nazi Germany in a Sherman tank named Fury. They're outgunned, outnumbered, and mentally worn down, but they keep pushing forward. What sets Fury apart is its raw, claustrophobic intensity. The film doesn't glorify war. It immerses you in it. Inside the tank, you feel every blast, every scream, every impossible decision. The chemistry between the crew, from the rookie soldier to the battle-hardened veterans, gives the film a deeply human core. Director David Ayer doesn't shy away from the brutal moral dilemmas of war. In Fury, right and wrong blur, and survival becomes the only rule. 2. Cisu. Cisu is a bloody, relentless thrill ride set in the final days of World War II. When a solitary prospector crosses paths with retreating Nazis, they learn he's no ordinary man. The word Cisu means unyielding courage, and this character defines it. With minimal dialogue and explosive action, the film feels like a gritty graphic novel come to life. It's absurd, stylized, and insanely entertaining. If you love lone wolf revenge stories with a high body count, Cisu is a must-watch. 1. The Covenant. The Covenant tells a gripping story of duty, loyalty, and redemption. Jake Gyllenhaal stars as Sergeant John Kinley, a man bound by honor to repay a life-saving debt. After his Afghan interpreter Ahmed risks everything to save him, Kinley returns to the battlefield, not for a mission, but for a promise. This isn't your typical war film. It's an emotional survival tale driven by human connection. Ritchie masterfully blends tense action with heartfelt moments, delivering one of the most emotionally resonant modern war dramas. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your favorite war movie in the comments. See you in the next video.